Last night, I had the pleasure of watching Frankenstein, a product that I was familiar with since the creature is one of the most legendary media icons ever, but one I never really dedicated too much thought to. That is, until now. And while there is an incredible amount of beauty to break down in this film, one aspect of the story that stuck out to me more than any other was the way in which fathers pass their trauma forward onto their children, with the three characters highlighting this theme being Alphonse Frankenstein, Victor Frankenstein, and the creature. At the start of the film, we are introduced to Victor and Alphonse, and their dynamic is clear. Tywin Lannister is an incredibly wealthy, successful, and well-respected surgeon, one of the best in the world, but he is a cold and hard father. You see, Tywin values his family name and legacy above all else, and seeing his son with dark hair and dark eyes, looking nothing like him, angers him deeply. So what Tywin feels his son lacks in physical attributes, he aims to make up for with perfection, training and teaching Victor in the art of medicine, and using pain as Victor's trigger for learning. He is a cold and abusive man that ultimately tears his family apart due to his own ambition, leaving Victor with a lifelong sense of insecurity, loneliness, and desire to rise above what his father was and what he desired. And Victor, in his adult life, becomes just as cold and calculated, concerned solely with his goal, his legacy, his ambition of being the man to conquer death and do what his father could not. But in being successful, in creating a son, Victor finds himself in the most vulnerable position he's ever been. Victor is now responsible for another life, and he has absolutely no clue how to be a proper father. The creature's first breath is also Victor's first moment as a father, and you can see it on his face that he has no idea how to handle this emotionally, and he immediately has to come face to face with the question that Elizabeth asks him later on in the film. Does he truly understand what muscle belongs to the human heart, to the soul? Now, one thing to note about the creature is he doesn't learn through punishment. He learns through kindness and positive reinforcement, which is why he learns Victor's name so quickly when they first meet. Victor, amazed with his creation, shows genuine compassion and interest for the creature, showing it the sun, and for the first and final time until years later, is a genuine parent being patient with his son and showing him the beauty that this world has to offer. And this early moment is hauntingly beautiful. The sunlight floods in, almost overexposed, as if the world itself is too bright for something new. Victor's expression softens, the walls he's built up for his entire life begin to crack. For a brief instant, we see what could have been. A father teaching his son about the world, not through dominance, not through ambition, but through the natural beauty already in it. The creature's eyes widen at the light, his voice trembling as he says Victor's name for the first time. It's tender, innocent, and painfully short-lived. That moment of grace is the only glimpse we get of the man Victor could have been, of the father that he could have been. But this moment is fleeting, and Victor fails the creature as a father, because he himself never learned how to be a good one, or a good man. One of the most interesting parallels between Victor and Alphonse is the way in which they both physically harm their children to try and teach them. At the start of the movie, we see Alphonse strike Victor in the face when he gets a question wrong. He does this in hopes of Victor remembering the pain and thus remembering the answer. And while his methods are successful in terms of forcing his son to learn what he wants him to learn, it came with the cost of leaving him with a lifelong sense of insecurity and frustration. And Victor, now a father of his own, frustrated with his infant's lack of understanding, whacks the creature with a metal rod in the exact same spots that Alphonse used to strike him. It's genuinely heartbreaking, and worst of all, it doesn't even work. Creature is not like Victor. Pain does not provoke growth because he is pure of heart, and this dynamic is something that will continue to grow and blossom as the film progresses. Now, after Victor blows up the tower, the next time that our characters interact is on Elizabeth and William's wedding night, in which the creature asks Victor to make him a companion, to which Victor calls him obscene and denies him any chance at true friendship. And this word obscene is very specific to the creature. To be obscene is to be offensive or disgusting by accepted standards of morality and decency. And while Alphonse never directly calls Victor obscene on screen, it's implied. I imagine this is something that Victor felt about himself in relation to his father. His father never really liked him, due to his physical appearance and close relationship with his mother, much like how Victor doesn't like the creature because of his appearance and his relationship with Elizabeth, a pseudo-mother figure and love interest for both of them. This concept of calling a child obscene feels very much like a father projecting his own trauma onto the next generation, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. And where this relationship becomes even more interesting is when the creature takes up Alphonse's role in Victor's life. Victor spends his whole life up until the birth of Creature chasing the idea of being better than his father. Even in death, his father was always his master, his legacy haunting all of Victor's steps and actions. But after the birth of Creature, Victor is without purpose. He is without a master, until Creature literally tells him that while he may be his creator, the creature will now be his master. So Victor assumes the role of a son, chasing the coattails of his father, except this time, he is the father, and he's chasing the coattails of his son. Literally chasing him through the ice. In chasing the creature, Victor finds another purpose in life, but in doing so, he slowly comes to the realization that he's never truly lived. Victor and Creature's final scene together is one of the best scenes in the entire movie, because it's a father and son coming to the collective conclusion to break the cycle. Speaking from personal experience, getting an "I'm sorry" from a closed-off, emotionally unavailable father is like seeing the Northern Lights. It's something everyone desires, but not many actually get to see. But for Creature, he gets to see it, and it is in the "I'm sorry" that Victor gives in the admission of his own guilt and failures as a father that he is able to give Creature the chance to show mercy, to break the cycle. And Creature, being different from his father, being kinder and purer, being absent of the original sin, is able to embrace this chance with open arms, and feel the warm embrace of the sun on his skin once again, calling his father by his true name, Victor, one final time, with the same warm embrace that he had all those years ago, ending the sins of his father and his fathers before him, and finally, after all this time, getting to live. With all that being said, if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I would, and I'd highly recommend you checking it out for yourself if you have not seen it. With that being said, I'm thinking about reviewing movies a little more on this channel. I'm not the biggest movie watcher, but I do enjoy them, and I want to get more into them. So if that's something you're interested in, please let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what kind of movies you want me to see and what you want me to talk about. With all that being said, again, thank you so much for watching, and I really do hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.